The Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is expected to be the crown jewel of the Samsung S23 lineup. It's said to take all the best features of Galaxy's last year's 22 Ultra, like the killer camera array and built-in stylus, and kick it all up a notch with the main camera boasting a whopping 200 megapixels. Plus, it'll be powered by the latest and greatest chipset for a maximum performance and energy efficiency. Oh, and rumour has it, the S23 Ultra may come equipped with a display that can bring a blinding 2000 nits of brightness, but we'll have to wait and see if that's true. We'll still have a little while to wait before this bad boy is unveiled, but here's a breakdown of all up-to-date information on the S23 Ultra. When it comes to price and possible release dates, according to reliable sources, the Galaxy S23 Ultra is set to be launched on February the 1st, with pre-orders possibly starting on the same day. The release date for the highly anticipated phone is speculated to be February the 17th. This is based around previous release years and release time. As for the price, it's expected to be around $1,200, which will be similar to the Galaxy S22 Ultra. However, some hope for a price drop, especially in light of the fact that the iPhone 14 Pro Max is now coming out at $1,100. It's worth noting that Samsung has not yet officially announced or confirmed the cost of the Galaxy S23 Ultra, so it's highly likely it could be possible they tweak it in the last minute to try and compete with the established market. When it comes to specifications, this list has been created on the balance of probability, just based on the sheer volume of the predictions out there and the general consensus across them. So when it comes to screen size, I think we're going to be looking at a 6.8-inch AMOLED screen potentially, which will be a 3000x88 by 1440 resolution. Again, this could change at any moment based on the information that seems to be being drip-fed to us on a daily basis. With regarding CPU, I think it's much an in-the-bank deal now that's going to be the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. When it comes to RAM, I've seen mixed opinions. Some are saying that it could be 8 gigs, some 12. I think it could be optional between the two, but it could be a matter of fact that they just go for broke and release all of the issues with a 12 gig RAM standard. Storage, we've got listed 256, 512, and a whopping 1 terabyte, which I think will probably turn out to be the case. When it comes to the cameras, we've got a 200 megapixel main, which is unbelievable, 12 megapixel ultra wide, a 10 megapixel telephoto, which will be capable of 3 and 10 times zoom. The front camera, I think, unfortunately, will remain to be a 12 megapixel. I think there was some mention previously of it being bumped up significantly up to 40 megapixel. But I think looking at what's being released up to date, renders, etc., it's likely to be the 12 megapixel we see in this one. When it comes to battery, it looks like we're going to get a 5000 milliamp hour battery, which is sufficient for everybody. I think when it comes to the weight, it's at best guess we're looking about 8.2 ounces. That could go slightly either way based on components and extraneous factors, but we'll wait to see.
If you're enjoying this video so far and want to see more like this and from across the world of tech, please hit that subscribe button. Right, let's get back to it.
When it comes to design the display, it looks like the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra might not be shaking things up too much in terms of its design. Rumour has it, it'll look similar to the Galaxy S22 Ultra, complete with squared off corners, the curved display, and individually embedded cameras on the back. Of course, it'll all come with a beloved S Pen for all your doodling needs. However, some whispers suggest the S23 Ultra might be slightly longer and wider than the S22 Ultra, and possibly even a tiny bit heavier as a result. There's also talk of the display and sides being flatter, which might be a plus for those who don't like tapping and writing on curved surfaces, and being one of those. Leaked renders and dummy units seem to support these rumours, but it's always possible that things could change before the official release, as is always the case. There are rumours swirling around about the display on the S23 Ultra. I've seen varying different amounts of information pointing at different sources. Some sources claim that it'll have a minimum peak brightness of 2100 nits, making it the brightest smartphone camera on the market. Others say it'll top out at 1750 nits, but either way, it'll have higher and clearer colours than the Galaxy S22 Ultra. Samsung has recently announced an ultra-dynamic range display that can reach 2000 nits of peak brightness, but it's unclear if this will be used in the S23 lineup. I imagine if it were, it'll only be used in the S23 Ultra. In addition to brightness, the S23 Ultra may come equipped with the latest Qualcomm 3D Sonic Max fingerprint reader, which has a larger footprint and can scan multiple fingerprints at once. However, it's worth noting the possibility that the S23 Ultra will have thicker bezels despite no increase in display size. Just quickly, when it comes to colours, there's not a great deal of information out there, but it looks like the Galaxy S23 Ultra will be available in at least 4 colours on release, based on various rumours. Some sources say that the options will be phantom black, green, lavender and cream. Other leaks are pointed to beige, black, green and light pink as the colour choices for all 3 models in the S23 family, so it looks like they're going to pair the colours up across the board. It's possible that light pink is actually lavender and beige is cream, so they would kind of all tie in together anyway. The S Pen is also rumoured to come in cream, green, lavender and phantom black. you want a matching set, I guess. Amongst these options, it seems like green may be the primary colour, so it looks like that might be what they're pushing to the market on adverts, etc. upon release.
Get ready for some seriously impressive photography with the Galaxy S23 Ultra. This bad boy's packing a 200 megapixel main camera that's even higher res than the already impressive 108 megapixel camera on the S22 Ultra. You can choose between 200 megapixel, 50 megapixel or 12.5 megapixel photos depending on whether you want more detail or brightness and colour. And the best part, the S23 Ultra's low light capabilities are supposed to be a major upgrade, with a night mode that can take brighter and higher quality shots in almost no light. We're looking at a 5-second exposure, which is a whole second better than the S22 Ultra. Regarding the low light photography, it's rumoured the 200 megapixel main camera will pack impressive specs like a wide 1.7 aperture. It could give the iPhone 14 Pro Max a serious run for its money. And even the telephoto cameras are getting in on the action, with both expected to have 10 megapixel sensors and the same 3x and 10x optical magnification as before. All in all, it's looking up like the S23 Ultra will be a top choice for photographers in all levels. The S23 Ultra is expected to have either a 12 or 40 megapixel selfie camera. This could be swapped at either moment, but I'd much prefer if they took the reach and went for the 40. But the resolution is lower, there may be other enhancements to make up for it. And it's not just the front-facing camera that's getting some love. The S23 series is rumoured to have a new 8K video mode with a frame rate of 30 frames per second, which could be a game changer for content creators. It looks like the S23 Ultra will come equipped with Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip or Samsung's own Exynos 2300 chip, depending on where you are in the world. In the past, the US have had the pleasure of getting the Qualcomm chips, while other regions, including myself, have had the Exynos chip. There are conflicting reports about whether this will continue with the S23. Some sources say the Qualcomm chips will be used globally, which would be great news for European buyers, i.e. me, as we also often prefer the Snapdragon versions. No matter what chip ends up being used, we can expect top-notch performance from the S23 Ultra. It looks like the Galaxy S23 Ultra will come with a generous amount of storage, with 256 reportedly being the minimum for all three models, although this varies. I've had other information received. The S23 Ultra is also expected to have either 8GB or 12GB of RAM, and it will be equipped with a vapor chamber cooling system to keep all that power from overheating. Meanwhile, the S23 Plus is expected to have a heat pipe system, which will link into the vapor chamber, and the regular S23 will have a typical thermal paste and graphite tape found in other premium smartphones. The Galaxy S23 Ultra is expected to come with a 5000 mAh battery, which is about the standard for a large Android phone. It's also rumoured to have a light performance mode, which will reduce the processor's performance in order to save battery and keep the phone cooler. While the S22 Ultra had a decent battery life, the S23 Ultra could potentially last even longer thanks to this mode, along with the efficient design of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset. In terms of charging, the S23 Ultra is expected to have the same 45 watt maximum as the S22 Ultra, with no improvements made in charging speed. This is good, but it's not as fast as the charging standards used by some of Samsung's competitors, such as the OnePlus with its epic 65 watt charging speed. So that's what we know so far about this upcoming Goliath of a flagship phone. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video to the end. If you enjoyed it and want to see more videos exploring the world of tech, smash that subscribe button and let me know in the comments below if you'll be getting in line to get one of these bad boys on release day.